Hello and welcome everyone, it's been Rock39. I'm going to go into that max concealment series again, but this is going to be with the newest weapons that we can acquire now. With the recent update, they gave us a couple new weapons and a few new weapons, a few new mods that help improve the concealment of one older weapon, which I know for a fact, and some DLC items that you can purchase. I do try to stay on top of buying all the DLC, so I'm going to go about it right now, and I'll start with the primaries. As my secondary, I'll be using my Bernetti 9, and it's modded for concealment, max concealment, and I'll give you a look at it. I'm using an asepsis suppressor, a +3 concealment boost, and I believe that was everything that helps this get that detection risk of 34. Some of those other mods I did use, or I have on the gun, are just for other improvements, but that's not so important as far as this video is concerned. Now, as far as the primaries, we'll go to them straight away. The Little Friend 7.62 assault rifle is a Scarface character pack item, and its concealment number is 10, which is pretty bad. And there's only 2 mods that you can use to increase your concealment number, and one, I use the medium suppressor. That's the best I can get for that, and the concealment boost. Nothing else will help this gun achieve a lower detection risk of 20, so that's pretty high. So I probably won't use this weapon, even though I have tried it out. It's devastating. It's got great damage. It's got a grenade launcher on it, for crying out loud. It's really versatile and it's very powerful, but its drawback is a very small magazine, and overall total ammo is pretty low too. So I'm not a big fan of this weapon, but it is very useful in certain instances. Now on to the AK-17 rifle. This was added with the Gauge Russian weapon pack, and its concealment number is 22, which isn't bad considering it is a pretty powerful assault rifle. I use the medium suppressor, a concealment boost, the AK rubber grip, a low drag magazine, and the wide stock. As you can see, that this particular weapon has reached the minimum detection risk when it's used with that Bernetti 9, the way I have it modded. Now, these are free akimbo weapons that came with Sangres, a new character they added for us on console, and he also came with his own perk deck, the Sicario perk deck. Some of you guys and ladies might already be aware of all that, and that's fine. One of the drawbacks with these particular revolvers is you will not be able to make them silent, so you're just at the mercy of them being loud. The only mod you can do for concealment with these particular revolvers is a concealment boost. The barrel, that's just adding stability, and the grip is adding, or rather, stability with the grip and accuracy with the barrel, forgive me. Yeah, so 29 is still really good, and they're pretty powerful handguns. I mean, those things are hit really hard, and they do look really nice, I think. So detection risk of 3 was easily met. Now, same with the Akimbo Contractor pistols. These are from the John Wick weapon pack, and although they're not as powerful as the Castigo revolvers, they're still pretty useful, and the concealment number is really good at 29. We have a sepsis suppressor and the concealment boost. Everything else is just going to improve it in other areas. So yeah, 29 is the max I can get out of the Kimbo Contractor pistols. Now on to another John Wick weapon pack item, the Desert Fox sniper rifle. Its concealment number is 21, which is really good for a sniper rifle. Prior to this, there was only one sniper rifle, and it was strictly DLC, the Lebensauger sniper rifle, and it would reach a concealment number of 20. So this one's actually better in concealment, and I believe it hits harder too. So this weapon is really good. You might want to give it a go. I used the silenced barrel, a concealment boost, and got a number of 21, which is a really good number for a sniper rifle. As you see, the detection risk is only 4, which is still very good. So definitely worth a look if you guys are gonna, if you own that particular weapon pack. Now here is the Contractor 308 sniper rifle. This is part of the John Wick heist item. So let's get to it straight away. The concealment numbers are 23, and I used the Contractor silencer, a concealment boost, the straight grip, and the folding stock, all which lead up to that 23 concealment, which gives you the minimum detection risk of 3. Now onto the Grom sniper rifle. This is a Gauge Russian weapon pack item, and it's got the highest concealment that I can get from any sniper rifle in the game. It's really concealable at 25. That's pretty high for a sniper rifle. I used the Tico barrel, which is silenced, the concealment boost, the lightweight foregrip, and the lightweight stock. Now there is the ability to put iron sights on this, but it doesn't change concealment, so I really didn't bother putting it on. So you do have that ability to take off the scope and go with it with iron sight if you choose to go that way. But at either rate, it won't make it any more concealable than 25, which is, I make that sound like it's bad, but that's an incredible number for a sniper rifle. And on to one of the weapons that we've always had, but they gave you some mod improvements to make this gun reach a concealment number of 27, which before it couldn't do that. I think the best I could get was a 20, maybe, I'm not certain. But at any rate, they added a short barrel, which allows you to gain some concealment. You can equip the Silent Killer suppressor, a concealment boost, and the hollow handle. I'm pretty sure this is something they recently added as well. So just adding to the concealment, which is excellent. I use the AK rubber grip and a skeletal stock. So with all that, in this ISMA, which really wasn't in my realm of what I would consider highly concealable, has now gotten to that point, which is very welcome. Some auto fire capability with this weapon, and it's not bad. I mean, don't let the low damage numbers fool you. When you spec in the shotgun skills, this would be a pretty devastating shotgun if used in the right build. So there you have it. That's the last of the mods I'm going to show you as far as primaries go. Now I will take let's see, I gotta find something with, alright, the highest concealment I can get is the Car 4 with a 32. I mean, I can achieve that number with my Valkyria rifle or the Cavity, but since those are DLC items, I'm sticking with the Car 4, and it's modded like this so you guys and ladies can see. There's no trick to it. I used the short barrel, well, let me switch that to the medium suppressor, sorry. Concealment boost, the competition foregrip, the straight grip, the vintage mag, and the folding stock. Now, once again, this is an item that doesn't increase concealment, nor does it hurt it. So if you have it, put it on. It's not a big deal. Now, you do have an option here that I want to show you guys and ladies. If you put a sight on this weapon, which I love doing, especially with the Seymour sight, I dropped the concealment by 1. Okay, kind of sucks, right? So I'll take that off. And I noticed certain weapons allow you to put these new gadgets on, the Richtpunkt 45-degree sight, and this other one here, the 45-degree red dot sight. If you put these on, they add force stability, but don't cost you any concealment. But it's like turning on the laser. You know, you push the directional in the proper way, and then when you aim down the sight, you'll have a sight. So it just turns the gun on its side, which really it's effective. And you have a sight for your weapon that isn't an iron sight, but it doesn't cost you any concealment either. So it's just a little something for you guys and ladies to know about. At either rate, it's a 32 concealment for this particular primary. And now I'm going to get down to the new DLC items and free items that they gave us in the secondary slot. Beginning with the Jackal submachine gun, which reaches a concealment number of 30, which is pretty good for a gun that's as capable as this one. I equipped the silent gear silencer. It's giving you the same numbers that the medium suppressor would, but it's a -1 in concealment as opposed to a -2. But since I'm using inner pockets basic and optical illusions ace, it kind of just negates it. It's more in line of a better suppressor without causing you so much in concealment penalty. But that's why I used it. Here is the concealment boost. It does have a short magazine, although it's just a 20 total now, but the +2 concealment is what I was after. The folded stock, and that'll do it. That's what it took to get that Jackal submachine gun to a 30 concealment, which is definitely within the realm of a minimum detection risk. Onto the Tatanka submachine gun, which happens to mean buffalo if you guys and ladies ever watch Dances with the Wolves. Yeah, Tatanka submachine gun. At either rate, I used a medium suppressor, a concealment boost, the AK rubber grip, and that's all you can put on this thing to make it 28 concealment, sorry, which is still good because it's in the minimum detection risk area. Now onto the Castigo 44 revolver. Once again, this came with Sangres and the Sicario perk deck, and it is available to everyone, and like the akimbo version, it can't be silenced, and you can only increase concealment by 1 through a boost. Everything else is either accuracy and stability modifier, which is totally welcome, but 29 is still a good number for a secondary for sure. Now here's another item that was added with this recent update, the 5.7 AP pistol, and I've acquired a 31 concealment with it by adding the asepsis suppressor and the concealment boost. Now there are other mods, as you see. I have this barrel on, but it doesn't cost me any concealment. It actually benefits the gun in both accuracy and stability. So if you have those, you may as well use them. If you're trying to make these builds like this, you can add a laser on it or a light at the cost of concealment, as long as it's not the micro laser. If it's the micro laser, it doesn't cost you anything. Magazine extended, of course, it doesn't cost concealment, and you get 4 more shots in your mag, so put it on there if you have it. But yeah, 31 is a really good number, and this thing actually shoots through shields and some walls even. Just give it a go. If you don't know about it, you're probably going to put down those AP slugs in your Judge and your, because I use the Judge and the locomotive shotgun to take out shields with the AP slugs. Well, now that I have this, it's a lot easier to do it and not run out of ammo. You don't have a slow reload. It's fairly very powerful secondary, and the damage is right up there at 126. I mean, that's really good. So yeah, minimum detection risk is easily met. Now here's another John Wick weapon pack item, the contractor pistol. It has 2 mods which allowed it to get to a concealment of 31, the asepsis suppressor and the concealment boost. That's it. I mean, this gun is a really nice secondary. I've used it a little bit and it's not bad. So once again, 31 is definitely going to keep you at minimum detection when you have a primary that's at 32. This Arbiter grenade launcher, one of the sickest launchers in the game in my opinion. It's a Gauge Spec Ops item, so if you're buying any DLC in little chunks, which I highly recommend just getting the bundles, but if you're doing it in chunks, you might want to buy the Gauge Spec Ops pack, because you're going to get this grenade launcher that literally shoots like a rifle, but it's going to leave some explosive damage on the other end of things. I equipped it with a Bombardier barrel or Bombardier barrel, take your pick, the concealment boost, and that's it. And this thing is a 21 in concealment for a grenade launcher. That's really good. And once again, it shoots the grenade straight. There's no arc in the shot whatsoever. It's going to fly like a bullet. And give it a shot. It's really impressive. Now here's another DLC item that came with the Scarface Heist Pack. It's the Commando 101 rocket launcher. Now this one is really strange. The concealment is only 6, and you can only put 1 mod on this, and it is the concealment boost. But I'm going to slide over real quick to the HRL 7 rocket launcher. And you see up on the side there, the equipped one is the Commando, and the one that I'm selecting is the HRL. You got 4 in the mag for the Commando, 1 with the HRL. Total ammo is 8 with the Commando, 4 with the HRL. Rate of fire is quicker with the HRL, and the damage is half of what the rocket launcher that we all had in the first place affords us. But I prefer this one more because it's going to do less damage to your surrounding teammates and possibly their converteds, because it's not at 10,000, it's 5,000, which is still pretty high for as damage is concerned. But you get the 4 shots that you can fire one after the other, and you know, you got 8 shots instead of 4, or whatever it was, 5 with the other one. I don't even use that rocket launcher, but I guess I could go check just so I don't make a fool of myself. Okay, yeah, a total of 4 ammo and 1 in the chamber, and you have to reload every time. This bad boy, 4 in the mag, and you know, 8 total, so you can definitely do some serious damage with this thing. Now onto the Goliath 12 gauge shotgun. This was added similarly like the Castigo and the 5.7 AP pistol. You should have access to this even if you didn't buy any DLC, as long as you got the current update. It's not the greatest in concealable weapons, but it's something new, and you might want to use it for other things. But I'll show you what I got out of it. Total concealment number of 18, and I equipped the short barrel, the silent killer suppressor, a concealment boost, and that's all I could do. But 18 isn't so bad when you have a high concealable or highly concealable primary. It's not a bad secondary. 12 detection risk isn't where I'd like it to be, but it is what it is, and it's still 12 is very stealthable. If you're going critical build, I think you would choose a different secondary, but you never know. So that's all the new weapons. Now, like I did earlier, I'm going to grab the Judge at a concealment number of 30 and show you the numbers that I got with these these primaries. So back into here now, the little friend jumps up to 29. The AK-17 rifle jumps up to 9. The akimbo weapon should stay at 3, which they did. The Desert Fox goes up to a 10. The Contractor 308 is up at 7. The Grom stayed at went up 1 to a 4, which is ridiculous, but welcome. I'm not complaining. And then the Isma stayed at a 3. So even if you're using a Judge as your secondary, most of these weapons will still keep you low enough to, or close enough to, minimum detection risk. Now on to the secondaries. I'm going to switch from the Isma to, let's say, I got a Clarion rifle at a 29. That's a pretty good number. Most assault rifles will be at around 29 if you mod them for concealment. And let's see, the Jackal stayed at 3. The Tatanka stays at 3. The Castigo and the AP pistol, I believe, stay at 3. Same with the Contractor. Now the Arbiter is going to take you up to 12, which isn't bad. That's actually pretty good. Now obviously the Commando 101 rocket launcher, it's going to be higher than most, or than all of them, but it's still, you know, it is what it is. It's a 4-shot, 8 total ammo rocket launcher. You know, you can't have everything. And then the Goliath, it went up to a 16. So even with a Judge, even with a Clarion, you're still going to be fairly decent when you're talking concealment numbers, when it comes to using these new weapons and the mods that they came with. So with that being said, I hope this video was useful to everyone, and as always, take care, be well, and good games everyone.